You have more people connected to you than any human in history. Hundreds of contacts, messages, faces, likes. And yet, there are nights when you feel completely alone, sometimes even at a party, surrounded by people, laughing and empty inside. You've wondered if something's wrong if you're too weird, too antisocial, too hard to love. But for 99% of human history, being alone wasn't sadness, it was a death sentence. Your brain isn't broken. It's searching for something that stopped existing thousands of years ago. And that search explains everything. Why you feel lonely in the middle of a crowd, why nothing seems to fill the emptiness, and why you aren't the way
What you're about to understand changes everything you think you know about loneliness. Let's start with something that feels almost impossible to imagine today. For 300,000 years, no human was ever alone. Not once, not for hours, not by choice. From the day you were born to the day you died, you lived surrounded by the same small group of people. You ate with them, you slept 3 feet away from them, you hunted, raised children, cried, and laughed. Anthropologists estimate we lived in bands of around 30 to 50 people, and everyone in that band knew you. They knew your name, your story, your flaws, your peace. And here's what changes everything. Being alone in that world was literally fatal. A human separated from the group couldn't keep watch while they slept, had no one to share the hunt with on a bad day, couldn't fight off a predator alone. Loneliness wasn't uncomfortable. Loneliness killed you. So evolution did something brilliant and just like it programmed hunger to push you to eat and thirst to push you to drink, it programmed loneliness, push you back to the tribe.
The pain of being alone isn't a glitch in the system. It's an alarm. One of the oldest and most powerful your body owns. And that alarm is still going off inside you. It's just that now it's ringing in a world that no longer understands what it's asking. This is where almost everyone gets it wrong. We think loneliness is an emotion, something soft, fleeting, mental. It isn't. Neuroscientist John Cacioppo at the University of Chicago spent decades studying loneliness, and his conclusion was radical. Loneliness works exactly like hunger. Hunger doesn't exist to make you suffer. It exists to keep you alive. It warns you that your body needs food before it's too late. Loneliness does the same thing. It's your brain's signal telling you you're drifting away from your tribe. Come back. We need you. You need us. Being outside the group is dangerous. That's why loneliness hurts so much. It's not a whim. It's a 300,000-year-old alarm system screaming at you to fix a deadly threat.
But there's a problem. That alarm was designed for a world where coming back to the tribe meant walking 30 feet to the fire, where the people around you were your tribe. They'd known you your whole life. They depended on you, and you on them. Brain doesn't count how many people are around you. It measures something completely different. That's what science discovered next. In 2003, neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger at the University of California ran an experiment that rewrote everything we believed about pain. She put volunteers in a brain scanner and had them play a simple virtual ball game with 2 other players. And then, without warning, the other 2 started ignoring them, passing the ball only to each other, leaving them out. Something so small, so silly, a digital game of catch. And yet, the scanner showed something astonishing. The excluded person's brain lit up in the same regions that fire during physical pain. To your brain, being rejected, being ignored, being left out literally hurts the same as a wound. It's not a metaphor. It's the same circuit, the same pain.
Why? Because for your ancestor, being cast out of the tribe was a fatal wound. The brain learned to treat social rejection with the same urgency as a hemorrhage. And here comes the part that explains everything. Your brain doesn't measure how many people surround you. It measures whether you belong, whether someone truly knows you, whether you matter to whether anyone needs you. That's why you can be at a party full of people, feel hollow inside. That's why you can have 100 contacts and not one person to call at 3 in the morning. Your brain looks around, counts familiar faces that don't actually know you, and sounds the alarm. These are not your tribe. And here's the most disturbing part. This isn't an overblown feeling. It's deadly. In 2010, researcher Julianne Holt-Lundstad published a meta-analysis combining hundreds of studies. The result left the scientific community cold. Chronic loneliness raises your risk of dying as much as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Your body treats the absence of a tribe as exactly what your ancestral brain always believed it was, a slow and a fatal one. So, if loneliness is a perfect alarm that's worked for 300,000 years, why are we suddenly all so alone? The answer is simpler than you'd think. You didn't become antisocial. You didn't grow cold. The world reorganized itself to separate you from your tribe, piece by piece, without anyone deciding it. Look at what happened in just a few generations. We left the small towns where everyone knew each other and moved into cities of millions of strangers. We moved far from family, chasing jobs. We traded face-to-face conversations for screens. We replaced friends with followers, belonging with likes. Sociologist Robert Putnam documented this back in 2000. He found that decade after decade, Americans belonged to fewer clubs, had dinner with neighbors less often, knew fewer of the people on their own street. He called it the slow disappearance of community.
Today, we have more connections than ever in history, and less tribe than ever. We're surrounded by humans, but surrounded by strangers. And your ancestral brain, which knows nothing about social media or cities, looks around, can't find its band of 50 people who truly know it, and it does the only thing it knows how to do. It sounds the alarm. We call that loneliness, and we treat it like a personal flaw. But it's not a flaw. It's a mismatch. The gap between the tribe you were designed for and the world of strangers you happen to live in. So, the next time you feel alone in the middle of a crowd, don't ask, "What's wrong with me?" Understand what's really happening. Your 300,000-year-old brain is searching for a tribe. Not more people, a tribe. People who truly know you, who need you, that you belong to. And that completely changes what to do with loneliness. Because loneliness isn't cured by more contacts, or more parties, or more followers. Your brain never wanted a crowd. It wanted to be known. Being truly known by 5 people is worth more than being seen by 5,000. One honest, face-to-face conversation, besides something like a fire, quiets that alarm more than 1,000 likes. Your ancestor wasn't weak for needing their people. That need kept them alive. It made them human. Sitting by the fire, surrounded by the same faces their whole life, they knew something we forgot, that a human, alone, simply does not survive. That instinct, that ancient hunger to belong, it's still inside you. It's not your weakness. It's the most human part of you. It's your brain, loyal after 300,000 years, reminding you that you were never made to be alone. We didn't trade a dangerous world for a safe one. We traded a tribe of 50 people who knew us for a world of millions who don't. And your brain still hasn't gotten the message. You're not broken. You're just remembering. So, what about you? When was the last time you felt alone, surrounded by people? Tell me down below. I want to read it.